Beginning. The prisoner of the Empire. My name is Red Voss, former cargo pilot, accidental criminal, and soon-to-be dead man. At least, that's how the Zalorian Empire saw me. I'd been captured 6 months earlier after my ship drifted into their territory. My NAV system malfunctioned, shoved me 50 light-years off course, and I ended up smack in the middle of a restricted military zone. They boarded my vessel, found encrypted human files I didn't even know the ship carried, and sentenced me for espionage. I wasn't a spy, but the Empire didn't care. Execution was scheduled at dawn. I spent most of that final night staring at the ceiling from my cell, metallic, cold, humming with faint energy currents as if mocking me with every vibration. Then the footsteps came. Slow, heavy, measured. The kind of footsteps belonging to someone who never hurried. Someone who didn't need to. My door slid open with a hiss, and light spilled into the dark cell. A figure stepped inside. Tall, armored, radiant. A Zalorian warrior. Her skin was a deep obsidian blue, glowing faintly with bioluminescent sigils that pulsed with her heartbeat. Her hair was braided into silver cords, falling over heavy battle armor carved from luminescent stone. Her eyes, sharp, gold, unblinking, locked onto mine. She was beautiful and terrifying. "I am Commander Sarah," she said. "I will guard you tonight." I blinked. Guard me? I'm being executed. What's there to guard? She stepped closer, her towering presence swallowing the cell. "You are to remain alive until dawn. It is my duty to ensure nothing hastens or delays that." "And how exactly would something hasten it?" I asked dryly. "You would be surprised," she replied. Then she sat on the cold stone floor directly across from me, unmoving, silent, watching, like a living statue. It was the longest night of my life, and it had only just begun. The warrior who never blinked. "So," I said after 5 minutes of awkward, suffocating silence, "do you usually guard people at night? Or just the ones scheduled to die?" Her gaze didn't move. "I guard whoever I am assigned." "Must be fun." "I do not understand your sarcasm." I sighed. "Forget it." Silence again. The glowing sigils on her armor pulsed softly, illuminating the cell. She radiated discipline and stillness, like a blade forged from living stone. I stared at her. "You're not like the other guards." She blinked once slowly. "How so?" "They hate me. You don't." Her golden eyes narrowed, not threateningly, curiously. "I do not hate you," she said. "I do not know you." That's a better reaction than I've had in months. Another silence. Then she asked, "Are you afraid?" "Do I look afraid?" "Yes." "Fair." I slumped back against the wall. What's the point in fear anyway? Dawn will come whether I shake or not. "That is not entirely true," she said. "How so?" She shifted, not much, but enough to show hesitation. "A warrior's death is honored. A criminal's death is not. You may feel more fear, because your death would carry no legacy." Her bluntness stabbed harder than anything she could have done physically. I swallowed. "I'm not guilty." Sarah's eyes flickered, not with belief, but with interest. "Many claim innocence." "You asked if I feared death," I said. "I don't. I fear dying for something I didn't do." Sarah leaned slightly forward. "In the Zalorian Empire, truth is irrelevant. Only evidence matters. So, I never had a chance." She shook her head once, slow, deliberate. "No, you did not." Her honesty struck me more than any lie could have. "Then why talk to me?" I asked. She was silent for a long time before answering. "Because you speak like someone who has lost much." Her words pierced deeper than she knew. I said nothing. But Sarah didn't need me to. She already sensed it. Middle. The fault in the Empire. Hours passed. The hum of energy fields faded into background noise. The cold floor crept through my clothes. I accepted my fate in silence. Sarah A. remained still, but something in her posture softened. "Your file says you were a pilot," she said suddenly. "That's right. Do you miss flight?" The question was so unexpectedly tender that it cracked something inside me. "Every second," I whispered. "Flying was the only time I felt free." She nodded slowly. "In battle, I do not feel fear. But when I fly, I feel alive." I looked at her, surprised. "You fly too?" "I command the Vanguard Legion," she said. "Every warrior of the Vanguard must be a pilot. So, why are you guarding me? That sounds like a job for rookies." Sarah hesitated. "My rank is complicated." I raised an eyebrow. "Complicated how?" Her eyes shifted away, a sign of discomfort. "A commander does not question the Empire." But lately she paused. "I have begun to question everything." That stunned me. The Zolorians were legendary for their absolute loyalty. "You're questioning your own empire?" I asked. "Yes," she said, "because I have seen justice corrupted. I have seen innocence punished." She lifted her gaze to mine. "You are not the first human I have guarded, but you're the first who looked at death without begging, without lies, without hatred. You think I'm innocent?" I asked carefully. Sarah didn't answer immediately, but when she did, the answer shook me. "I do." A lump formed in my throat. "But belief changes nothing," she added. "Doesn't it?" I whispered. She looked deeply into my eyes, searching, evaluating, deciding. Then she stood. "You should sleep, Red Voss." "I can't." "You can," she said gently. "Fear prevents rest. But you do not fear death. Only injustice. Doesn't that bother you?" Her jaw tensed. "Yes." Then she did something unthinkable. She removed her helmet and set it on the floor. Her face was striking. Not merely fierce, but weary, tired, burdened by truths she couldn't speak. "Tomorrow," she whispered, "I will escort you to your execution platform." I nodded. "And I will watch," she continued softly, "as they end the life of a man who deserved better." Her voice trembled, just slightly. It was the first sign of emotion she'd revealed, and it changed everything. The confession before dawn. I didn't sleep. Not because of fear, because Sarah sat beside me now, armor off, guarded softness replacing her earlier steel. The hum of the energy fields dimmed. The prison lights flickered like dying stars. Hours before sunrise, she finally spoke again. "Rhett, tell me what happened. Tell me the truth." "You won't believe me." "Try me." So I did. I told her about the malfunction, the forced landing, the encrypted files I didn't know existed, how my ship was secondhand, purchased from someone who must have smuggled intelligence data, how the Empire labeled me an agent the moment they found it. When I finished, Sarah's expression darkened. "If what you say is true," she whispered, "you were used." "I know," I said bitterly, "but no one cares." "Someone does." Her voice was almost trembling. "Who?" I asked. She looked at me, then looked away. "I do." Those two words hit harder than any blow. Then she whispered something that made my blood freeze. "You should not have accepted your fate so quickly." I didn't have a choice. "You always have a choice." She stood abruptly. "I can still change the outcome." "What are you saying?" Sarah stepped toward the door, but turned back before leaving. Her throat bobbed with emotion she couldn't hide. "I cannot defy orders," she whispered, "but I can create an opportunity. A chance to run, a chance to live." "But Sarah, they'll kill you if they find out." Her golden eyes held mine. "I am already dead," she whispered, just breathing slower than most. Then she left the cell. My heart pounded. The warrior who guarded me wanted to save me. Climax. The escape I never asked for. Dawn approached. The guards marched me through metallic corridors toward the execution platform, an open deck overlooking the alien city, dawn's red glow rising between crystalline towers. Sarah walked beside me in full armor. But something was different. She walked too close. Her hand hovered too near her weapon. Her stance was too tense. She was about to do something reckless. We stepped onto the platform. A crowd gathered below. The high tribunal stood above. The executioner prepared the disintegrator. Everything was ready. Sarah stepped in front of me. "Remove his restraints," she commanded sharply. The guards looked confused. "That is not procedure." "That is an order," she snapped, voice like thunder. They obeyed. My hands were freed. And that's when all hell broke loose. Sarah struck the executioner with a single blow, sending him flying. She activated her plasma blade, slashing the control panel. The disintegrator sparked and exploded. Guards rushed forward. "Run, Rhett," she shouted. "Run." But I didn't. I stood beside her. "I'm not abandoning you." She blocked a strike aimed at me. "You must." "No." Sarah's eyes widened, because no one had ever defied her order before. Then something snapped inside her armor. She reached into her chest plate and pulled out a glowing core, her personal combat generator. She shoved it into my hands. "This will open every shielded door on your way out," she said. "You can get to the docks. You can escape. What about you?" She smiled. Sad, fierce, devastating. "I was born into chains. You are not. Go, Rhett. I'm not leaving you to die." "You must," she whispered. "You deserve freedom." Sarah. She pushed me hard, sending me stumbling toward a side passage. "I choose this," she said. "Let me make one righteous choice in my life." Tears blurred my vision. Sarah lifted her blade again. "For the first time," she whispered, "I am not the Empire's weapon." Guards surged toward her, and she fought like the warrior she had always been. Not for commands. Not for glory. Not for the Empire. She fought for me. I ran. Every step shattered me. Every scream behind me broke something deeper. I reached the hangar. Found an unguarded scout ship. Escaped into the clouds. And when the city shrank behind me, I saw a blast of golden light. Sarah's last stand. Ending. The warrior's legacy. I didn't return to human space immediately. I orbited nearby, monitoring transmissions. Hours later, a public announcement echoed across the Zalorian Empire. "Commander Sarah A. has died in battle." My chest caved in. But the transmission continued. "She died defending a man declared innocent." I froze. In her final recording, the speaker said, she exposed evidence that Red Voss had been framed by smugglers. She revealed corruption in the tribunal. She sacrificed herself to correct the injustice. I stared at the screen, shaking. She didn't die for me. She died for the truth. Her message ended with her final, quiet words. "Let this man live." He was the only one who saw me not as a weapon but as a person. I lowered my head, and I wept. Sarah, the warrior who guarded me, believed me, freed me, had given me a future I never expected. I made a vow then, not to waste the life she bought. I would expose the corruption she died fighting. I would honor the warrior who defied an empire. And I would never forget the woman behind the armor. The one who changed everything.